What up, y'all? It's me again. And if you're viewing episode number 2, then that means you were still interested in starting a junk hauling business, or you just want a little bit of more information, or you're going to watch me fumble over my words like I just did. So, first episode, and again, hey, for those of you who don't know, I am a nerd. I love Star Wars, dark side only. So in the initial episode, we talked about, forms of ownership. Are you going to do a sole proprietor, LLC, etc.? Start thinking about the kind of vehicle you're looking at. This is 2021. There's a scarcity of everything. Vehicles are hard to come by. The used vehicle market is crazy. And just to make sure you do your research on everything. You don't want any surprises to come up. Are you going to be perfect and hit everything? No, you're not. But you want to make sure there's nothing huge going to come up and smack you in the face and really destroy you after you just try and get your feet off the ground in your new business. Decide how much money you want to invest here. I have an idea of the amount of cash I'm going to put into this. I'm going to start off with right around $3,000, and I'm going to go over that as well. Some of you may be thinking that's a lot of money. Some of you may be thinking that's nowhere near enough, but yeah, hear me out. So we talked about vehicle types. I'm going to stay under the 17,001 pounds. I'm going to avoid needing a waste hauling permit. I'm going to stay within my state of Pennsylvania. I'm not going to cross state lines. That's going to avoid a lot of dot things for me. Again, research all those things for yourself. And due to that, I was actually looking at cab over Isuzu trucks, which is what most of these junk hauling businesses use. You can't find one, and the used ones are astronomical. And even if you could find a new one right now, I'm hearing you had to order one 12 months ago to even have one on stock. I called a couple dealerships and talked to a couple guys who were nice enough to actually call me back. So you can see this. Didn't want to show that off yet, but you're going to see it a little bit later. So because I also live in Pennsylvania, in a suburb of Pittsburgh, winter can be hazardous. Some winters are not so bad. Some winters are just disgusting with snow. I wanted something four-wheel drive, and I also wanted to buy American. I like supporting the domestic market. I like using local folks too, and supporting local businesses within my own community, because I find when I do that, other people do the same, and then they give me business. So I actually went with a Ford cab chassis truck. I went with a F450 and had a 9-foot dump bed put on it. That's not huge, but it's going to be enough for what I need to do. And again, some of you might be thinking, oh, that's too much, or that's not enough, but it's just right for me. Little Goldilocks. So that is the route I went on, and I ordered the truck, and the bed is being put on, and I actually had my daughter-in-law do my logos. Let's go back to the truck. Sorry, I'm skipping ahead. ADD. So I had shopped around for a truck, and I actually used a local dealership who I've bought other vehicles through for personal use, and ended up getting a pretty decent deal on a new truck. I know there's not a lot of good dealage going around lately, but for whatever reason, there is an inventory on Ford cab chassis trucks. The gas mileage is not spectacular on those, but it's not spectacular on the Isuzu trucks either, and they're two-wheel drive, so not knocking them, but I couldn't get one even if I wanted one. So I wanted to start this business. The other thing was, when I was initially looking, I have an F350 dually. It's a 2001, has less than 70,000 miles. I use it to pull a camper in my boat. It has the very desirable power stroke in it, the 7.3, and I could have gotten a dump trailer for that. And the problem was I was going to be over the 17,001 pounds. That's not a huge issue though. I would have needed a waste hauling permit, etc. But the issue is, because I'm in a suburb of Pittsburgh, I'm kind of in a rural area, but where I'll be doing a decent amount of business, there will be a lot of developments. If I go into the city of Pittsburgh, everything's kind of dense, a lot of parking on the street kind of stuff. Using that F-350 with a dump trailer, especially if I was going with like a 16-foot dump trailer, I'm looking at like 30 plus feet of vehicle. That is a lot of vehicle for the areas I'll be working in. It would make it hard to kind of get into some places. So the cost would have been much lower on that because I'd have been using an existing vehicle and getting a trailer, which trailers, the inventory on that is hit or miss, but I was able to find one. So in going over all that, I actually decided to go with a new truck. And my overhead with the truck, with the commercial insurance for your truck, which is what you're going to need, and that is not cheap. And then you add in your general liability insurance, which you're going to need because you do not want to get sued and not be covered. So with all that stuff in mind, my monthly overhead is right around $1,500 a month. I took $2,850 and put it in a business account under the name Totally Trashed Junk Removal. Yeah, I registered, got it done. That's my name. And I did a zero down on the truck. I used leverage. You could research that, look into that. And again, whatever I do financially, I'm not a financial expert or guru. This is what worked for me. I also bought business cards, bought a sign to put in the front yard, bought some t-shirts, as you can see. I bought my t-shirts from Jiffy Shirts and actually had my wife put this logo on here with her Cricut. And the logo I got from my daughter-in-law. So if any of you want logos, message me and I will gladly forward your information on to her. Does a great job. So got all that, got the truck, got my shirts, etc. That left me, after I was done, again, invested $2,850 of my own money into this account and basically lent it to the business. I talked with my CPA about that. Again, talk with yours. I'm not going to give any financial advice. I'm not a financial guru, like I said, at all. So that left me, I think, roughly $1,500 after I bought the business cards and shirts and insurance and all that good stuff. And did a little bit of, bought a website. So I got that, totallytrashedllc.com is me. So I got a site, and again, you're gonna look into these things. What's gonna work for you, what isn't gonna work for you, what do you don't wanna have or do wanna have. That left me with right around $1,500 in that account, which will cover my overhead for the following month. So that is where I am sitting for episode 2. Again, you're gonna wanna research the kind of money you're gonna need, what you wanna do. A lot of that's gonna be dependent, the kind of money you need is gonna depend on vehicle you're gonna use. Do you have the credit to get a vehicle with zero down? Do you not want to do zero down? Do you want to buy something with cash? If you have something existing, that is always the best because your investment is low, your overhead is low. But you also have to look at, do you want that under your own ownership? Do you want it under a company's ownership? And again, you should be talking with a CPA and attorney about those things. Look at the liability aspect, look at the tax advantages or disadvantages of, look at all those things. So I also got myself a toll-free number that can be called or texted. I got that through Grasshopper. I am finding that app to be pretty decent, actually. My print, actually my shirts are all American made through Jiffy Shirts. Ordered my print through a local company, so you're gonna wanna look into that too. There's other companies on the internet you can get your things through. They may or may not work for you. Again, cost is gonna be something you're gonna wanna look at. You're going to want to keep minimal. You want this business to succeed, so you don't want to spend $1 bajillion, but at the same time, you're going to have to invest something to get this thing off the ground. You're going to have to decide on marketing, which is something I am going to be looking at too, because with this appraisal company, I don't need to advertise. I sign up with some big companies, that whole industry change. I'm not going to bore you with it, but this market is so insane with refinances and lines of credit. I turned business away with that company, to be totally honest. I'm not bragging, but that just gives you an idea that I don't have to advertise with that. So this advertising at this company, this is something totally new to me. So I'm going to share the experience with that as well. You know, what's going to work, what's not going to work. I do have a Facebook page for the company. Will Facebook advertising work? I don't know. I'm going to try it. Will local paper advertising work? I don't know. Probably going to look into that too. So I'm going to see what. Not officially launched yet, but well, when this video is sent, by the time I get it all uploaded and everything, because I had not even created the YouTube channel yet, everything might be going, so we'll see. But I'm going to update on all that too in the next episodes as far as things go, jobs lined up, anything like that. What I am experiencing personally, which again may be totally different than what you experience within your area and market. There are all of the big junk hauling companies out here, but I believe there's enough market share that a little guy like me can go in there and also make some money. My goal is to build an empire. I want to franchise. I want to sell it eventually, maybe, or I want to give it to my family and let it support them for generations. Who knows? Are those big goals? Yes. My ultimate goal for the first month of operation would be to pay for my overhead completely through the company and not have to use that $1,500. So we'll see how that works. But thanks for watching. We'll see you in episode 3.